sometimes you got to look at your business and your company through the lens of a sports team, not a family, because a family, you get on with it. You're stuck with them. But this is business, this is your life, livelihood, and you do get to choose who you do it with. And you shouldn't accept or tolerate mediocrity. You should be looking to play to win rather than play not to lose. All right, and we are live on the Builders Ladder podcast, joined by Coach Cole. How you doing, brother? Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm doing real good. Glad to be on, hanging out with you.
Oh, dude, I'm over the moon. We got to hang out at the Builders Summit. Highlight, low light from the Builders Summit. What was your highlight? What was your low light, if there was one? Probably being hungover, maybe. But I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Honestly, the whole trip was amazing. The Builder Summit was one of the most epic events that I've been a part of. It was really great to actually get an opportunity to meet all of the builders and really deep dive with them. I just feel like having those in-person connections and conversations, like everything just gets elevated and you get to know them on a real level. So I feel like the conversations are just more in depth, and the things that we work on are just honestly amplified to another level. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they were amazing. I had a really great time with that. And obviously all the guest speakers and everything were really great. So it was just a world-class event I was super excited to be a part of. And honestly, the low light was it ending. Like I could have stayed there, honestly, for a couple more days. Like it was just so much energy. It was fun. It was a great time.
Yeah, well, you did a great job of presenting yourself. You did a couple of things. You did the game plan at the end, and you did some masterminds during it on sales and marketing. I was there on the peripherals of one of the sales and marketing sessions that you did. I was answering a couple of questions, but you were in your element. You were bing, bang, bomb, knocking them down, helping members unpack their sales pipeline. Because a lot of people think that they need more marketing, when the reality is they need more conversion, or like need more actual jobs at good margins. So a lot of people are missing like the 80-20 or the biggest levers in their sales pipeline, which is like your presentation of quotes and action plan, your charging for quotes or charging for professional services, and your wow pack or your information pack that you send out during or prior to a site visit. You did such a good job of all of that sort of stuff. So anyway, we're not here to sing your praises and tell everybody how amazing you are. It's pretty damn obvious. We're here to talk about Andrew. Tell us about Andrew.
Yeah, so Andrew started back with us September 25th, 2024. So about 9 months ago. And honestly, he's going to be very honest, but he's been an ideal member, an ideal person that I've been able to work with. He's come in with such a great attitude. He's been extremely coachable, very eager to learn, knew that obviously he didn't have the answers, but was willing to work on everything that we put in front of him and at least put in the effort. Like not every single thing is going to be this key golden thing that everyone can just apply and it crushes. There's, you got to keep trying and put things in front of you and adapt as you go. But he just took everything with stride and did absolutely everything he could and showed up to all the sessions and got it done.
So good. Yeah. You got to earn the right to grow. And there's no silver bullet, no magic, only lead bullets and hard work. And that's why it's really important. Like, while some of the strategies you put in place are not like, oh, light the world on fire, baby. Like that's a strategy that's just changed the game. Some of them are very pedestrian, very simple, don't really have a huge impact, but they might be like insurance policies or like stabilizing strategies that give you the time, the space, or the understanding of how to improve a different strategy that is an unlock, or you're just stacking wins on top of each other to get to a really big overnight success, 10 years or 10 strategies in the making sort of thing.
Yeah, 100%. And like, we're going to talk about some of the big changes that he actually has made. But, again, there's always trial and error. And like you said, some of the things are not going to be the biggest wins, but they do make that small impact in the business that either frees up his time or organizes a system in place so he's not stuck doing more work. So yeah, even the small ones are big ones.
So good. So he's based in Maine. He's been on the program for 9 months, joined us in September of last year. And the notes that I'm reading here is like he was needing to improve his team. He was wanting to protect his profit. Like he was already doing all right. Like not everybody is coming to us at the bottom of the cliff. Some of them are like installing the fence at the top of the cliff rather than jumping into the ambulance at the bottom. So he was like fixing his profit protection, working out how he could afford and then add more guys. Should he get a site manager? Should he bring somebody into the office? Should he bring on, like apprentices and some more guys in the field? Should he bring somebody next to him to do estimating, all this sort of stuff, like who to bring on? So walk me through like where you guys started based on the audit that he took and the game plan that he set at the very beginning.
Yeah, so obviously, like when we had our first game plan session, we had that conversation of what he needed to work on. There was quite a few things, like obviously getting his team dialed in, obviously having the right people on the team, getting the efficiency on site because he was losing money. He had work coming in. He was booked out. It was not the ideal type of work and the revenue that he was looking for. So it affected his cash flow because of these guys not being as dialed in as they should have been. And obviously that's a part of how he's running that team. So there is obviously the team, which led to profit protection. We needed to change his positioning in the marketing so that we could acquire the right type of work. And then he needed financial visibility as well. Financial visibility was a big one because he was wearing too many hats and getting everything dialed in and the numbers exactly where he wanted to. It didn't give him the exact data that he needed to be as effective with where he was. So those three things were kind of the main headers that we took on. And the first one was definitely needing to improve the team, make sure that he wasn't losing money. That was probably the biggest one at first because the money's there.
Yeah.
So
what did you guys actually do to do that? Because there's heaps of different levers that we can pull and push. Like, for example, like most teams don't lack systems, they lack accountability. And accountability is, expectations, measurement, and feedback. So to improve accountability, we want to improve expectations, like get really clear around like, you're the foreman of this job. The expectation is that it's done timeline, budget, and quality standard, for argument's sake. Then it's measurement. We would measure whether it's done to timeline, budget, and quality standard. And then it's feedback, not waiting to the end of a project, not even waiting to the end of a stage, but waiting to the end of a day to give feedback and course correction. So it's like often where we see people starting, but was it different or is it literally like, yeah, that's what we started like? What was it for you guys?
yeah, honestly, it was very close. I think the big thing with him was we needed to have the right people because if you don't have team buy-in, it doesn't matter what systems you put in front of them, they're not going to do it. And it's going to lead to the same, hamster wheel. So we went through and actually did a lot of the accountability, teamwork, and same page plan and really got these guys, bought in to it. And we needed to replace them with people that were willing to do that.
So yes, get some people off the damn bus so that you can put the right people on 100%. Have you watched the Netflix show Wrexham FC? Or it's like HBO or something?
Yeah.
Wrexham?
Yeah.
There's a really good scene in that. And I think it's like the GM or the CEO or the COO or something. And they were talking about how not all players will be with them from tier like non-league to tier 1 to tier 2 to tier 3 to the Premier League. Some players will get them from here to there, but then will need to be traded or sold so that they can fund the acquisition of better strikers and better defenders. And the manager had gotten them promoted, but then was replaced so they could bring in a manager that had been there, done that, and could bring the skills required to get to the next level again. So it's like sometimes you got to look at your business and your company through the lens of a sports team, not a family, because a family, you get on with it. You're stuck with them, but this is business and this is your livelihood, and you do get to choose who you do it with, and you shouldn't accept or tolerate mediocrity. You should be looking to play to win rather than play not to lose. And sometimes you got to get rid of some people so you can free up the seat so you can bring some other people on that are talented enough to do that. I love it. Can you walk people through the same page plan? Because that gets discussed a lot, but I don't know if it's discussed in enough detail. So like, what is it? When's it used? Who should be looking to implement it?
Yeah, I think if you feel like you don't have a very good culture fit, I think that's probably one of the first things that I do put into place with these guys is a lot of times there's a lack of communication, even understanding what your role is. And there's sometimes you feel like there's confusion on site. That's the time that you want to do that. And a lot of the times it comes from a misalignment or a miscommunication And it's not even that the person is not a good fit. It's because of that miscommunication. So the same page plan is an opportunity for you to actually sit down and have a one-on-one with your team member, and really understand what their personal goals are and what they're looking to achieve and what they want to get out of, their job, their position, their career. And getting a deep understanding of that is going to allow you to know, first of all, how you can utilize them in the team to be more effective. But it also incentivizes them when you can align that with your personal goals. So your business goals and what you want to achieve. And when you guys can create that alignment and actually create a pathway for where you can take them, then they're more bought into, what the end goal actually looks like when they feel like they're a part of the team now.
Yeah, so good. So it's getting them on the same page. It does what it says on the tin, and it's going, we were here and we're now, well, we were over there and we are now here. Congratulations, well done, pat on the back. Yeah, whoop-de-do, great work. We're now going over this direction. And to get there, we're going to need to change some stuff and keep doing some stuff and stop doing some other things. And that means that we're looking for these kind of people to step into these kind of roles and do this sort of stuff. And if that's you, then fantastic. And if that's not you, then let me know, because we can't have you here, sort of thing. So, yeah.
No, 100%. And some guys, they want to be the carpenter their whole way through.
Yeah,
They don't
there's
want
nothing wrong with that either. Like a talented championship team needs a full roster of people. And that means that we need the kit person as much as we need the GM, as much as we need the scorer, the defender, the wing, the center. I mean, the centers don't post up anymore. It's a little bit of a shame, but you get the idea. Tell me, financial visibility, what on earth are you talking about? Are we talking about like clear data visualization reports that you guys do every single month, or is it something different?
Yeah, so in the beginning, we didn't even have like the books up to date, the P&Ls were out of whack, like the basic info that you need for your business. Like obviously, you don't really know your business if you don't know your numbers. So that basic information just was not there. And so a lot, again, we're talking about a lot of that guesswork, not knowing exactly where we needed to go. And so that was the first thing that we needed to do. And there was a couple little hiccups with like the banking and making sure that there was some connections there. But the basic info, making sure that that's all updated and ready to go, like we needed to get that first. And then we are now focusing on like live data. Like we know exactly up to date today what the finances are at any point in time. And we're now starting to utilize our program Fathom even more as well, now that we're starting to get updated. But now he can back cross all his jobs in real time and do all that kind of stuff. But we didn't even have that as an ability 9 months ago. So again, we wanted to make that a priority because we need to know exactly where we are and where we could go.
Yeah. Not to sound like too much of a broken record, but funny that accountability is expectations, measurement, and feedback. And the visualization, or like looking at your numbers, provides you with feedback and provides you with measurement, which allows you to understand whether you are meeting, exceeding, or failing to meet expectations. And then you can course correct and you can hold yourself more accountable. So it's kind of like, we run a damn coaching company here. So obviously we're a big believer of accountability, whether that's transparent, internal, external, all this sort of stuff. But I'm loving it. Okay. So good for Andrew. We basically there's holes in the bucket. We identified the holes and then we went around patching them. We did financial visibility. We did same page plan. We did a little bit more accountability. We worked out who we needed to move off the bus. We improved some of the marketing efforts, repositioning in the market so we could move away from smaller renos and towards some larger projects. That's a big one. But tell me, what has been some of the actual results? 9 months down the road, working on the simple stuff, not necessarily the silver bullets. What are we seeing?
Yeah, I mean, if he, had explained this, basically his stress levels are completely different than they were last year. Last year, sure, we had work, had a big team, but the cash wasn't there, was stressing about keeping this thing going, how it was going to work. And now we don't feel like that at all. He feels like he has control over his business. So work is now energizing for him. And it feels like it's on his own terms.
Sure. So to clarify, just stop there. Just to clarify, did he replace the people he got rid of, or did he just remove them?
Both. So we
Yeah, right.
started with
So
removal,
good.
getting dialed in, and then we brought in more people. And he's had to because now his projects that he's bringing in, he started roughly at some of them that were about 100, 140, and now they're 450, 500K jobs that he's bringing in. So he needed more guys on the team.
Yeah. But isn't it amazing that like getting rid of people doesn't actually kill momentum? Like it improves momentum, it can improve profit. And often we think we've got all these problems, but sometimes we just got a person problem. Like they're slowing us down, they're a bit of a ball and chain. Yeah, cutting them free.
Well,
Yeah.
kind of like what is the saying that like one moldy fruit affects the whole batch, right? Like you take that away, the other apples are fine. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, and I can speak as from a bit from my perspective as the one of the owners of the company. He is like, it's most of the stress that you get comes around money and people. And it's like, how do we afford this? Holy moly, the cash flow is tight. The bank account's up, down, side to side. Visibility of that and understanding what's in the future and the bets and the assumptions that we're making are proven to be true reduces that anxiety like nothing else. So I can understand why his stress would be down after getting some visualization of the numbers. And then it comes around people. And it's often not like you want to pour into your top 30% of people. That's what you should be doing. As a business owner, you should be pouring into your top 30%. Doing whatever is required, like and sort of necessary for your middle, and almost kind of like to a degree, and this is my perspective, neglecting a little bit of your bottom 30%, so they get forced out the door a little bit more. That's my humble opinion, not necessarily right or downer, but that's I think what is the best way to build a really important culture and talent pool. And funny that this person Andrew has gone rid of his presumably his bottom 30%, allows him to invest more into his top 30%, and it's cut out a lot more of his stress. Like bad apples spoil the broth, and they take up most of your headspace as a business owner.
yeah, 100%. Like I'm very excited for him. He's now in a position where our next goal is just to buy him back even more time. So we're looking at getting him even more support in the back end and having someone else run a lot of that stuff from him so that he can just continue to focus on the higher leverage activities. And that's getting more of the work that he's really trying to do. And like he's already got a pretty solid pipeline. He just wants to expand that pipeline and work with people that are going to bring him these quality jobs. So he's then now in such a good position, and his cash flow, where it was not very good, is now trending in such a good direction. And it's going to be like excellent coming up in the next few months. So I'm very excited for him.
Oh, that's awesome. And what are some of his next couple of moves then look like, with improved cash flow, better mindset, less stress? Like what's the next hire? What's his margin at? What are we looking at?
Yeah, so his next hire is going to be an office manager, virtual assistant. So just he doesn't need someone in office. He just needs someone to tackle the day-to-day office managerial stuff, so that he's not the one doing it, because he's honestly running around doing site visits, talking to new potential clients, and doing all that stuff. So, and obviously making sure sites are looking good. So yeah, we just need to get him there, buy him back some time. We're going to refocus once he's got that role, which he basically is like, I had to shut the job ad down because he got so many high quality candidates that he's like, okay, basically we're hiring this week and then we're going to train them, get them dialed in and moving forward. But all of his jobs, even at, those 450, 500K jobs, he's getting 23% gross profit margin. Like he's looking real good. And honestly, we're going to try and expand that to 25 because he's in a position where I truly believe that he can do that.
Well, the true test of pricing is the market test. There's opinion and then there is the reality. And opinion is what we tell ourselves and we go, we could afford it, we can't afford it. Ultimately, we don't know. The true test is the market test and your ability to sell to the market and get the margin that is what the market will accept. And your ability to educate the market on why they should choose you over anybody else at that price comes down to your sales and marketing. And we've spoken about it already, and we spoke about it many times, but like the quality of your marketing is how well you're able to answer the 4 questions and the 5 concerns. Like we've done many podcasts on that. I don't need to unpack it now. But if you can improve those areas of your marketing, you can price for profit, not just to win the work. And then the cap at what profit you price it to is not dictated by your opinion, it's dictated by the market. And that is the true test, and that's the real test, is like what the market can absorb. And if he's at 23 and he reckons he get 25, then happy damn days. And once he gets, a couple of projects under his belt at 25, he might go to 26, 27, 28. We'll only find out by testing the market.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, positioning was a really big one for him. In education of the client, like that's another one where a lot of the clients don't know exactly what's going on. It's your responsibility to make sure that they feel heard, understood, they understand what the process is and how you guide them through that. But I think the really big one that I notice a lot is it's a personal belief that it doesn't matter what is going on around you. Your internal focus and your confidence is like, I'm going to get these jobs and I'm going to help these people. I'm going to build these homes and I'm just going to get after it. Because once you start getting into the, well, everybody else does this, you're putting yourself at a complete disadvantage. You're going to start believing it. And clearly, Andrew is a guy that's winning quite well. So there's possibilities out there and you can get what you're looking for, but you just have to do what you need to do to win and not focus on all the external noise. And I think that was a big thing.
So good. So I was gonna ask you a question to finish and to land the plane. You kind of just touched on it, but maybe you have another second answer. And it's, what would you say to somebody that was in Andrew's position 9 months ago? So somebody that was a bit stressed out, had roller coaster cash flow, was making some money some months and not the others, had a couple of bad eggs on the team. Like, what would you say to somebody that was in Andrew's position 9 to 12 months ago?
Yeah, if you don't know how to make those changes, get the help. Like, that's really what we do here is we can't expect you guys that are, building a complete business and are wearing every single hat to know every single aspect of your business and how to be the best at it. So ask for help because it is there. This is clearly someone that came open-minded, was willing to do the actions that were put in front of him, and now he's being successful. So don't be the person standing in your own way from getting to where you want to be.
So good. Great advice. Great insight. Cole, you're a damn legend, brother. Great to see you. And I'm going to hang out with you in a couple of weeks in Texas. We're going for barbecue. We might need to get a cowboy hat, some cowboy boots, go to a rodeo, and have more brisket.
Yeah, I might need a bib, so I'm going to be messy, I think.
Oh, yeah. Let's go, baby. Awesome. Good to see you, man. Take care, and thank you very much for your time.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.